Welcome to the SaberGuard Show. I'm your host, Jonathan DeLeon, and I am wicked excited to talk to you today about why SaberGuard exists and why cybersecurity is honestly kind of broken for small businesses. Now, before we get into it, no, this is not going to be one of those super corporate buzzword-filled cybersecurity podcasts where somebody says something like leveraging advanced synergies to optimize security posture. We're not doing that here. This is real cybersecurity, how it actually works, how attackers actually think, and how you actually protect yourself without losing your sanity in the process. And occasionally, yes, there will be Star Wars references because honestly, cybersecurity and Star Wars have a lot in common. So, mostly the part where the Empire always finds the one system nobody thought to secure. Cough, cough, desktop. So, a little bit about me. I am a cybersecurity engineer by trade, and I've spent years working in environments where security is taken very seriously. Environments where if something goes wrong, it's not just annoying, but it's really a bad day for a lot of people. In those environments, security isn't optional. It's designed intentionally, it's layered, and it's monitored. Nothing is just set and forget, and over time, I started realizing something. Small businesses, especially healthcare providers, private firms, small teams, they face the exact same threats, but without the same level of protection. And really, not because they don't care, but because nobody really explained it in a way that makes sense or built systems for them that are actually manageable. Instead, they got sold random tools, random subscriptions, or random dashboards, and they're basically told, hey, good luck. Which in cybersecurity is definitely not a strategy. That's more like flying the Millennium Falcon without knowing the hyperdrive is actually broken. You might be fine, or you might not be. Here's the part most people don't realize. Cybersecurity attacks are actually usually not dramatic. There's no guy in a hoodie aggressively typing on a keyboard in a dark room. Most attacks are boring, and that's what makes them dangerous. It starts with something very simple like a phishing email or a fake login or a stolen password, or someone clicks something they shouldn't have or logs into something that looked legitimate. And that's basically it. No alarms, no explosions, no warning sirens, just access. And then from there, attackers move slowly, very quietly. They look around, they learn how things work in your environment, and then they figure out what accounts have access to what. They find your backups, they find your sensitive data. They basically walk around like they belong there. And it's less like an invasion and more like someone quietly sneaking onto your ship and sitting in the cockpit. And if you don't have visibility, you have no idea they're there. Now, here's another important truth. Attackers love small businesses, not because they're more valuable than large companies, but because they're easier. Large companies have entire security teams, and small businesses have Dave from accounting who's also somehow in charge of IT. No offense to Dave, Dave is doing his best. But Dave should not be expected to defend against modern cyber threats alone. And attackers know this. They look for easy entry points, weak passwords, no monitoring, no endpoint protection, no visibility. They don't need to break into the front door. They just look to unlock the side door. And that's why I created SaberGuard. Because cybersecurity shouldn't feel confusing, overwhelming, or impossible to manage. It should feel structured, layered, visible, understandable. You should know what's happening in your environment. You should know your defenses are working. You should know that you're protected and not guessing, definitely not hoping. And you should know what's going on, because hope is not a security control. That is not in any framework, and I've checked. This podcast exists to break all of this down plainly, honestly, no marketing fluff, no fear tactics, just real explanations of how cybersecurity works, how attacks happen, and how you actually defend against them. Some episodes will be technical, some will be simple, some will probably include Star Wars analogies because honestly, the Empire had some serious security design flaws, let's be honest. Cough, cough, the Death Star. I mean, they built two Death Stars and both had critical vulnerabilities. That's just poor patch management. At the end of the day, cybersecurity isn't about fear. It's about awareness. It's about preparation. It's about having the right defenses in place before you need them, because the goal isn't to panic when something happens. The goal is to be ready. That's the SaberGuard Show. I'm Jonathan DeLeon, your host. And remember, even the strongest shield starts with understanding where you're vulnerable. I'll see you in the next episode. And until then, stay secure. Peace.